Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hampden Park, Glasgow, for a very special send-off for Shelley Kerr's Scotland side. Their final warm-up game before they make their bow at the World Cup finals in France against England a week on Sunday. Their opponents today, another team making their debut at the World Cup, and a quite remarkable story it is for Jamaica, the Reggae Girls, who've overcome all sorts of hurdles to qualify for their first major tournament. A wonderful occasion in store here on the BBC Red Button. Have it live for you before we get to the action. First of all, time for the national anthems. Terrific crowd here at Hampden Park to see Scotland off on their World Cup campaign. It will be a record-breaking crowd to have watched the women's national team here. Let's hope they end their formal preparations with a good showing tonight. 3 changes for Scotland from the side that beat Brazil in their last friendly. Kirsty Smith comes in at right back. Lisa Evans comes back after missing the last international break with injury. And Jane Ross returns up front. In total, 7 players from the Women's Super League make up the starting 11 today. And we think very close to what might be Shelley Kerr's preferred starting 11 for the Women's World Cup in France. As for Jamaica, they'll be the lowest ranked team at the Women's World Cup. They make 3 changes from their last official friendly against Panama last week, with Havana Solon, Shayna Matthews and Chantel Swaby coming in. The danger player and consistently touted as a player to watch at the World Cup, Khadija Shaw, Jamaica's top scorer in qualifying with 19 goals, and has been linked with a number of the top clubs in the women's game. Alongside me for commentary this evening, Glasgow City manager Scott Booth. Terrific occasion, Scott. We want a result and a performance today, don't we, from Scotland?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's obviously a great occasion. The players know that this is the last game before they go into a World Cup, and it's, you know, historic. A lot's been said about it. You know, the players have achieved a great amount, but I think they'd really like to go into that World Cup with a win behind them and a confident performance.
And Jamaica, interesting opponents for them, aren't they? They're a team, another debutant, as I said, and a team that's slightly unknown, really, to the whole of the women's game.
Yeah, but they're a physical side. They're strong. I think they have a decent central midfield partnership in there. I feel that they also have, in Khadija Shaw, a first-class striker that can really cause problems, and that's going to be interesting to see just what she can do against our back line. I think we've got a solid back line now, Scotland, and we're going to need that going into the World Cup. But yeah, interested to see what Jamaica can actually bring to the contest tonight.
Khadija Shaw, remember the name, because she will be mentioned over and over again, I'm sure, at the World Cup. Jamaica making their debut as well. There is Lisa Evans, who is being recognised for her 75th cap, which happened quite a while ago for the Arsenal winger. She today is making her 78th international appearance in the Scotland shirt. And Scotland, quite interestingly, are wearing their change kits for a home game today. But that might be because Jamaica, I think they had some trouble with getting their luggage over from their Florida training camp to Scotland today, so needs must. So we're just about set for the action here at Hampden Park. As we say, Jamaica and Scotland, one of 2 of 4 debutants who are making their bow at the World Cup, which starts next Friday with France against South Korea. Every single game live across the BBC. Jane Ross, wearing the number 13 for Scotland, gets us underway. Scotland in the pink, kicking from left to right. Jamaica in their traditional home shirts, home to make an impression. Scotland kick off against England a week on Sunday. It will be live on BBC in Nice. Here is Evans straight away down the line for Ross. And that's well cleared up by Konya Plummer, the 21-year-old captain of Jamaica.
Yeah, sort of no-nonsense central defender as Plummer. She'll win a lot of the battles if the ball's played in the air, and just with the ball at her feet, just does things very simply.
Here is Caroline Weir for Scotland. She's played every single game under Shelley Kerr since the Scotland boss was appointed back in August 2017. Has guided them to their first World Cup and hoping to make a better show of themselves than they did 2 years ago at the Euros, when they were blighted by injuries.
Yeah, I think now it's a settled back line. I feel that that's a good thing to have going into a tournament.
It's a good run down the far side by Doherty. Getting forward the left back. That's nice play. Here's Weir. Really good atmosphere in Hampden Park tonight to see these Scotland girls off. Here is Smith trying to get past Carter. It's cleared up by Denisha Blackwood for Jamaica. And here is Khadija Shaw. The attempted pass over to the far side to Matthews was well cut out. Here is Emsley of Manchester City.
You can see the Scotland front line taking up really high positions against the Jamaica back four. got a lot of width. You can see Nick Doherty really high and wide on that left-hand side.
It's a lovely pass and a lovely take by Lisa Evans. Here's Kirsty Smith. Again, good defending, good tracking back by the winger Trudy Carter. Weir. Space over the far side to Emsley. It's a big touch, even for her. And that's cleared up by Alison Swaby.
Yeah, but just showing her pace, Emsley, on that left-hand side, really quick.
Ross. Weir. A lot of possession early on for Scotland. Neatly done, and the offside flag has just gone up on this near side.
Yeah, as you say, a lot of possession. I think that's going to be throughout the whole game. Shelley Kerr already given instructions onto the pitch, but it's a good start because Scotland have kept possession, they've moved the ball around well. I think it's a good thing that they have as many goal-scoring players in their starting team tonight. You know, if you take Cuthbert and Ross, Kim Little as well, Weir, they're all capable of scoring goals, so it does mean it's going to be difficult for Jamaica to try and deal with all those threats.
Well, Jamaica in a tough group themselves with Italy. It's a good ball over to Chaina Matthews. She won't quite get there. It's going to be picked up by Lee Alexander. Italy, Brazil and Australia, the group that Jamaica find themselves in. Here is Smith. It's easily cut out. Now here's Sweatman. And that's well read by Weir. Eppens up against Konya Plummer, and once again does well. Weir. You can see what she was trying to do there, didn't quite manage to slip it through to Jane Ross. Jamaica just struggling to get out of their half at the moment. Truly remarkable story that Jamaica managed to make it to their debut World Cup finals after winning the third place playoff at the CONCACAF qualifiers, winning a dramatic penalty shootout against Panama. Many of these Jamaican players are born in the USA and have Jamaican parents or grandparents. All of them play their football in Europe or in college in the United States, so to a decent level. Foul and a free kick to Scotland. Kim Little in a lot of space here.
I think they can be a little bit more patient when they get into those areas. Kim Little, Erin Cuthbert, just trying to play in the pockets and behind the front line, but trying that one pass too quick again there. Maybe just hold on to it a split second longer and make sure of the pass.
Emsley, Little, Evans, the space to make the cross. It's made by Bond Flazer. And here's Matthews of Washington Spirit. It's good play by Jamaica. Final ball wasn't quite there, and actually Trudy Carter was possibly the better option on this near side, the left.
Yeah, Robin, they've had a couple of chances on the counter-attack to release one of their front players and just haven't made the right decision. But you can see that they are capable when they win possession back, and then on that quick attack they can potentially catch Scotland out.
Sweatman plays her football in Hungary. Alison Swaby is easily dealt with by Beattie. Here's Khadija Shaw, allowed to turn. She's a confident girl.
Yeah, there weren't too many options there for her, but I think she had to just be a bit more patient. Very good running with the ball and driving at defences, and I think that would have been the better option.
There's the Jamaica coach on the left, Hugh Menzies. He's been in charge since 2015. They've been disbanded during his time in charge. Funding withdrawn, offside against Claire Emsley. And he's only actually started being paid as a coach when he signed a contract earlier this year.
This was quite close. She looks onside to me. It's good for Scotland that they have that option, not just to try and find Erin Cuthbert and Kim Little in central areas, but they can also go direct to Lisa Evans and Emsley to use their pace in the flanks.
Space here, the attempted pass straight into the arms of Alexander. I was going to say it wouldn't be used for offsides, but we will have VAR at the Women's World Cup this summer, so that should provide some fun and games, shouldn't it?
Well, there's never any problems with VAR, is there? For a team that aren't together all that much, you know, Jamaica are pretty organised and get themselves back in numbers and then try and press just like this to win possession. It's good play.
It's Corsi with a bit of a loose pass. It is Trudy Carter, who's just come back from a quite serious knee injury. Good tracking back from Erin Cuthbert.
It is interesting to watch because the last game I saw them play against Panama, they pressed really, really high, and they obviously can't do that against Scotland, but they're showing that they can still win the ball back.
Shayna Matthews has done just that. It's a decent run, a very good challenge to put the ball out of play by Kim Little.
Yeah, she just stays with it, eventually manages to get it clear.
Throw was looking for Shaw. Cuthbert will tidy up. They've had a good length of time together, Jamaica, in the last couple of weeks. They had a good send-off at the Kingston National Stadium where they beat Panama. And they've had a week-long training camp in Florida. They beat a second-tier USA side in FC Surge.
You can just feel Scotland trying to work it out, trying to see what the best option is to cut through that back line of Jamaica. I think maybe if they draw them out a little bit more, Scotland, then they'll have more space to then go and play. The fact that Jamaica are pretty organised when they're sitting back in there, it's going to make it difficult.
Lovely touch by Trudy Carter. Here is Blackwood. Deflected cross. Just took the sting off it. But they're growing in confidence, aren't they, Jamaica?
Yeah, Carter again showing one or two really good touches she did against Panama as well. Just a threat, not quite sure what she's going to do when she's in possession, which is difficult for defences. And with Khadija Shaw always lurking, menacing with her pace and strength, they have got a threat.
It's been a while since Scotland played an official friendly, but they did win their last one. Really impressive win against Brazil. 1-0 a Kim Little strike. Really good build-up. Again, just trying to force the issue a little bit.
Yeah, Scotland getting a little bit frustrated. You can see Erin Cuthbert, she wants the ball into the pocket to get turned. I'm not feeling that she's getting the ball in those areas. I think she's definitely a player that Scotland need to get into possession.
Lovely play by Kim Little. Was allowed to advance. Lisa Evans wants it, she's got it. And Cuthbert had just turned her back, not on the same wavelength, but promising from Scotland. The referee has just pulled that back for a little push by Smith on Carter.
Yeah, not much in it, but enough to give Jamaica the free kick.
It's not the usual free kick taker. It's Marlo Sweatman, it's Plummer. It's not a bad delivery towards Matthews, who wins the header. And Shaw, which was just about put off enough by a couple of Scotland players around her, but she is a real handful.
Yeah, but if she'd managed to stay on her feet, then I think she had an opportunity here. She does well, she gets sandwiched a little bit. The ball drops, but the Alexander mopping up.
Oh, chance here. Here's Khadija Shaw. Goal for Jamaica. And it's the danger woman that we've all picked out. A wonderful strike from Jamaica's talisman. And it's the Reggae Girls who lead at Hampden.
Well, I've seen her score a lot of goals now, and this is just the kind of thing that she does. Picks it up here, fakes to shoot with her right, turns inside on her left foot. It's pretty much straight down the middle, but it's got a lot of power in it. And this is what she's got. She's cute, good feet. I think maybe Leo thinks she could have done a little bit better, but with the pace on it and the fact that she's been isolated, it's almost like a 1v1 situation. And, you know, a really good goal for Jamaica to score, but poor from a Scottish point of view.
Can they respond straight away? Here is Emsley. It's going to be a Scotland corner.
You have to give Jamaica credit because they pressed again high. As I said, they did that against Panama in their last game. And I feel like they can cause teams problems if they're to do that.
Little's delivery. Corsi's up there. Only half cleared. Oh, deflected! And so close to an own goal. Corner kick to Scotland.
Well, they just about managed to get it clear, not quite. Weir strikes. I don't know who it came off. I think it might have been Plummer. Didn't know much about it though. There was a chance.
Scotland just been spurred into life after conceding that goal. Emsley, crowded out. Carter. Well, Khadija Shaw is going to be a player in demand, 22 years old, a free agent after graduating from the University of Tennessee just a few weeks ago.
The thing is, she scores all sorts of goals. At that time, it's with her left foot. Is just as strong on her right side, good in the air. Can also just, you know, pop up a yard or two out and get there first in front of the goalkeeper. She's also got pace and can go over the top. Great one-on-one with goalkeepers. So She's got a lot of talent, and it's always nice in a side to have someone like that at the spearhead of your team. And you know, certainly playing the way they're playing tonight, which is mainly sitting back in. They've got the space over the top to release her when they need to.
It's Cuthbert, her trademark lung-busting runs, and the only way to stop one of them is to bring her down.
Well, that's the thing, you need to get Erin Cuthbert on the ball and running at the opposition. That's what she's best at. Very, very dangerous doing it just outside the box. That was a wider area, so not quite so dangerous, but at least now the opportunity to send the ball in from the free kick.
Plenty of good targets for Scotland. In particular, Jen Beattie. The flat delivery. That's a better one. It was actually Khadija Shaw getting back to defend. Strength by Emsley. Here's Smith. Good movement from Evans. Smith will try and go for the return. That's well read by Plummer once again.
The issue as well for Scotland is in wide areas, if they're just going to put the ball in the box, then Jamaica are set up pretty well to deal with that. Very strong in the air.
A bit of a mix-up between defender and goalkeeper. Here is Emsley. And that was always a hopeful cry for handball. Mostly from the Hampden Park crowd. That is Khadija Shaw's sixth game in her last six goal in her last 6 official internationals as well. In fantastic form going into the World Cup finals. Smith and Evans trying to link up down that right-hand side. There is the Scotland skipper, Rachel Corsie of Utah Royals. She's played her football in the USA for the last 5 years. Little. A lovely ball to Emsley. Got past one. Here is Cuthbert. Couldn't quite work the opening. Weir was a wicked shot. Eventually cleared by Jamaica.
Well, we know that she can't hit them from any distance. Takes a little deflection, which makes it even more difficult for the goalkeeper.
Oh, and that's a really good opportunity for Erin Cuthbert, just off target, and the flag is up as well.
As the ball comes across and on the volley, just didn't quite catch it. Comes off the front of her foot, sort of toe area, rather than just hooking around it and maybe going for that left-hand side. just faded away. But a better spell for Scotland now. A good reaction to losing the goal. I think they know that they have to play at a slightly higher tempo in order to cut through Jamaica, and especially in the final third, make sure that the passes that they're making are actually either getting in behind them or getting in the pockets for Kim Little and Erin Cuthbert to get on the ball.
Kim Little nearly let in Khadija Shaw. She was disappointed with her touch. See from her reaction. Here is Weir. Little.
I see Erin Cuthbert really frustrated. She's in that sort of left-hand pocket. She's had maybe 10-15 yards of space, which is, you know, a lot to give Erin. She still hasn't really managed to get on the ball, but she is now.
A great pass to Smith. Smith takes aim. A bad effort, a weaker foot. Easy take though for Schneider.
Yeah, she's unlucky, doesn't really catch it too well. I think a deflection again. I think when it initially comes to her though, she has to go quicker at Blackman and make sure that she can maybe just hook the ball round. Jane Ross was in a good area just to be that poacher, instinctive finisher that she is. Maybe if we can get the ball into her quicker, it may be successful.
Scotland just starting to find a bit more rhythm, but you've got to say the organisation of Jamaica is very impressive indeed. You can see it looks like table football, doesn't it?
Yeah, they sit in as a back four, and then they've got two midfield players in front, and then that 3-1 that go and press when they get the opportunity.
Emsley past Bonflazer, and your Plummer does just enough. Chantal Swaby, Shaw is fouled.
Yeah, Plummer just seems to be one of those defenders that always gets there, gets in the way somehow. Food for thought for Shelley Kerr. Well, certainly a test tonight. It's proven that way, and that's a good thing, because they're going to be tested at the World Cup.
There's the big one, England against Scotland in Nice, a week on Sunday. We'll be there and also be broadcasting every single game live across the BBC. Really intriguing to see how Jamaica get on as well in a very tough group. Brazil, Australia and Italy. But they've shown, especially when you have a striker as clinical as Khadija Shaw, that they've given themselves a really good chance. Flag is going to go up here against Kim Little. Good idea. Welcome to Scotland. Not used to this, are they? It's not even that cold, is it? But although I suppose
There'll be a Scottish fan next to them with a t-shirt on, that's for sure.
They're not in Kingston anymore. Evans to our Arsenal teammate Kim Little. WSL title winners this season for the first time since 2012. Here is Evans. Alison Swaby just gets that away ahead of Jane Ross. Weir. Cuthbert. Little. It's really good work. Good run. Just stopped in her tracks. Chantel Swaby. It's going to play Emsley. Defending well those wide areas, aren't they, Jamaica?
Yeah, really quite comfortable, to be honest. Certainly in the 1v1 situations they've had, because they are, you know, physical side, they're strong, they're quick. I suppose one question mark over them would definitely be, can they handle 90 minutes at this pace and maybe not having the ball that much? I think the fitness levels will be different.
Smith, one promotion from the Women's Championship to the WSL with Manchester United. Here is Kim Little, straight at the keeper. Good stop.
Oh, that's the best bit of play yet. A really nice ball into Jane Ross from Smith, turned round the corner. Great run, well timed from Kim Little. Just can't cut it across the goalkeeper enough to find the bottom corner, but certainly our best bit of play.
Couple of saves Sydney Schneider's had to make, Jamaican goalkeeper. Well, that's a decent effort from distance. That's a very good effort. Erin Cuthbert. Goodness me. What a sensational equaliser.
Well, if Scotland are looking for inspiration, it generally is one player that gives it, and that's Erin Cuthbert. A fantastic strike. Even to have a go at this, she's gone deep in the pocket, takes two touches, another one, then thinks, oh, why not? Cuts across the ball really well, and it finds the top corner. Schneider with no chance with that one. What a great strike, and hopefully a sign of things to come for the World Cup for a great young player.
Well, they backed off her, didn't they, which you shouldn't do with Erin Cuthbert, but my word. That is a special strike from a very special player. We've seen two very good individual goals this evening.
I mean, Scotland have been prodding away for like half an hour now, not really getting there. That one chance from Kim Little, but Erin's the type of player that just says, well, look, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a go. I'll do it myself. Great strike, really nice goal.
Ross onside. Didn't really have too much support there. Might be retrieved here by Lisa Evans. It is. Here's Smith. And that has really got the Hampden Park crowd going. It's been a breakthrough season for Erin Cuthbert. Voted Chelsea Player of the Year and the goal of the Champions League tournament as well for a strike against Lyon. Emsley couldn't quite find Ross.
That's a good ball in, and just lacked a little bit of support at the edge of the box from Scotland. You can see what that goal's done to the team, just starting to stroke the ball about a bit more in midfield. I think they need to do that. They need to draw Jamaica towards them to then find the spaces.
There is the Scotland director of football, Malky Mackay, and the new Scotland men's coach, Steve Clarke, who said when he was unveiled that he wants his men's side to emulate the women's team and get to a major tournament for the first time in a very long time. Euro 2020 qualifiers will be his first task. A lovely sentiment from the new Scotland incumbent to mention Shelley Kerr's achievements.
Yeah, we wish him really well in his new post.
Smith. Evans just forced away from goal. Cuthbert. Free kick right on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, again, more like it. It's a better type of ball for Scotland. It plays more into the way that their style is and the players that they have, and getting Erin on the ball just outside the box. You know that she's just looking to get that yard or two so that she can find a shot, get a strike away, always looking to score.
Essay writing for Shelley Kerr. I'm sure she'll have a few things to say at half-time. It's a good opportunity this, although it's a tricky position, isn't it? Very close.
Well, we know that Weir's got a great left foot. She can just whip this one low and find a space somewhere. It's going to be difficult for Schneider to deal with.
Scored at the Euros 2 years ago, Caroline Weir, in an ultimately fruitless group stage campaign. It looks like she is the only candidate to take this free kick. It is Weir, and it's 2-1! Beautifully taken! And Scotland have turned it around at Hampden Park.
Another great goal, really well taken. And just from that distance, just got a feeling if she can get this on target, that for the goalkeeper, with a wall in front of her and other players too, it's going to be difficult for her to see it. She sees it a little bit late. She takes one step, Schneider, to her left, and that is the reason why she can't get across to her right to save that. But two fantastic strikes, and Scotland in the lead 2-1.
Just what the doctor ordered for Scotland and their fans, with 10 minutes to go until half-time.
You know, Robin, you can talk tactics and think about the way, and I'm sure that Shelley Kerr has, how you're going to play through this side, how we're going to open them up, how we're going to create chances against them, and then your two goals come from just two one-off sort of strikes, and that's the way football is sometimes.
But it just shows the quality that this Scotland team has. And also the spirit, coming from a goal down, the disappointment of that. They shrugged that off, managed to get themselves a lead. Here is Carter for Jamaica. Oh, and that's a very good ball, and not a bad effort whatsoever from Havana Solon. Good late run into the box, just couldn't find the target.
Yeah, it was well timed because she gave the initial ball wide to Carter and then arrives at the edge of the box. Just couldn't control it enough. A difficult one to take. But again, just seeing the threat from Jamaica. When you go back to, obviously, Scotland lose the first goal and they show character to come back into it now and get those two goals. But we did speak about it before the game, that when you've got, you know, players like Weir and Cuthbert in your side, then they give you goals. There's going to be a threat there, and that's proved to be the case so far.
Kim Little opening up for her. Evans. Lovely run by Evans. Picked up by Cuthbert. Emsley. towards Ross. Goalkeeper's dropped it. The defence has got her out of jail. Given away cheaply to Chaden Matthews. Short, can't control.
Against a little bit of slackness at the back from Scotland. It was BT that time, and yet again we see the threat going forward. If that pass had been better from Matthews to Shaw, it would have been more dangerous. Certainly in this last 15-minute phase, Scotland have passed the ball better, and they found better areas for the way that the players can affect the game. And obviously Weir, from where she was, just outside the box on that great left foot that she's got, and Cuthbert again centrally in the pocket, driving at the defence. Can at times be a difficult job for Jane Ross up front. She has to kind of hold that central position and try and keep the two central defenders as close as she can get them, and that will allow more space around for the likes of Weir and Little and Cuthbert to get on the ball.
So a decent first season, Jane Ross with West Ham United, reached the FA Cup final. They ultimately lost to Manchester City at Wembley Stadium, with a huge loss after she was injured against England in their first group game at Euro 2017. A few other centre forwards, aren't there? Lana Cleland, but she's really an all-round player, isn't she, Jane Ross?
Yeah, and a player that's, you know, scoring at this level and has scored at this level, and you know, they're difficult to come by. We obviously do have other strikers, but they don't have the same experience of scoring goals. I think when you look back to the European Championships as well, you know, Erin Cuthbert wasn't in the same place. She's now a stick-on in the team and always looking to be a threat. Again, that's that pocket she's picking the ball up in. Really good play.
Here is Cuthbert. Now Little. Lovely interplay. And going to be a corner kick to Scotland. Lisa Evans and Kim Little linking up beautifully there.
Yeah, good play, and again in that same sort of area, just in front of the back line of Jamaica. Little give and go pass, and again Lisa Evans tries to get the return. Good defending in the end.
Weir. Little. Weir's shot, just the sting taken out of it. It was Lisa Evans, I beg your pardon.
And Jamaica showing the first little bit of disorganisation from that corner. Scotland going out with two players, and Jamaica only sent one player out. It was a 2v1. It almost opened up for Scotland.
Cuthbert. Smith. Great ball over the top. Kim Little. It's not a bad first touch, and actually she may have had a second chance with the keeper's fumble.
Well, again, it's a good run from Kim Little. She's tried that channel 3-4 times now in this first half, and she does latch onto it. Good goalkeeping. She read it very quickly. That's the beauty of having Caroline Weir maybe a little bit deeper in those areas, because she can spray the ball about, sees a pass very well.
Kim Little, another big miss from 2 years ago, an ACL injury. It's good movement from Jane Ross. Another corner kick.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Scotland are in a much better place going into this tournament than they were last time round. Again, in that final game against Spain, they showed so much courage and determination to get the result. And now they're able to add 3 or 4 players to that, real quality ones as well.
Corner has worked short once again.
I think it's been a good first half because I didn't really expect Jamaica to take the lead in this game, you know, but they were organised and they did look a threat at times. I think that woke Scotland up a little bit, and the last part of this first half, Scotland have been the better side.
Smith showing good pace in the face of Khadija Shaw. And a touch from Blackwood just took it on towards Jane Ross. Carter, dispossessed. Little, now Emsley. There's not too many options there. Jamaica bring it away. Alison Swaby, here's Matthews. Brilliant burst of pace. Shaw is up with her. Very good cross, no one on the end of it.
Oh, Matthews must be very quick because Nicola Docherty's fast. And she just goes right past her here, gains a couple of yards. She was just waiting for another player maybe to get there in support. It was good play, nice and direct.
It's the 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. Very entertaining first 45 minutes it's been as well. Plummer. Again looking for Matthews, who will get there. Scotland just about clear their lines, and maybe they can catch Jamaica out in stoppage time. Lovely pass. The effort straight into the arms though of Sydney Schneider from Jane Ross, and that is the final action of a very entertaining first half at Hampden Park. Scotland turning it around after going behind to a Khadija Shaw goal, brilliantly taken by Jamaica's talisman, but Erin Cuthbert's influence was too much for Jamaica, scoring an absolute screamer and then winning the free kick from which Caroline Weir scored. So all in all, a very good half for Scotland, but a lot to unpick as well for Shelley Kerr.
Yeah, it's great play. They win the ball, and we've been really harsh on Lee Alexander there because what a strike that was from Shaw, but even better one from Erin Cuthbert. Again, a real danger for Scotland, and then Weir with a lovely left foot from a free kick just outside the box. Good first half, looking forward to the second half.
So half-time at Hampden Park, it is Scotland 2, Jamaica 1. And we're going to hear now from the Scotland manager, Shelley Kerr.
there was a lot of interest because of who they were. And then take it forward to the game against Brazil, the victory there. Those performances, what did you learn from those two games in particular?
Going back to the US game, we didn't win the game. We're playing the world champions. But what we did prove was that on our day we're capable of competing against the very best teams in the world, namely the USA, who are world champions. The Brazil game, we set up tactically to try and play a more attacking way. Often when you play against the better teams, you have to sit in for a period of time and defend for long spells of the game, but our approach was to do it in a different way and try and make sure that we created some opportunities as well. And so I think we managed to do that, albeit there were some challenging moments in the game. We finished the game winning 1-0 and, openly, everyone's talking about a Scottish team beating Brazil, but we have to keep our feet firmly on the ground because we have to be mindful that they're friendly games. And things change. The pressures are tenfold when you play in competitive games as opposed to friendly games. But it's been another step in the right direction for us as a national team. The big question is, can we do it when it matters?
You picked those games intentionally because of tactically it would help you out. But how much of it was also to bring in some players and fine-tune your squad and just see who you wanted to take?
From a mindset point of view, I wanted to take the US game right after we qualified because, as bizarre as it sounds, I wanted to put the players under extreme pressure. Because in the past we played them and we've maybe been defeated with a kind of score line that's not very flattering to say the least, but I wanted to put the players under pressure because the very top players, the very best teams, are able to cope with pressure, and the only way that you can do that and replicate it is by putting yourself in a challenging environment. So, when we took on the game, people were saying, oh, is that the best thing to do? They might take a heavy defeat. It was the furthest thing from my mind, but we were solely focused on trying to get a performance and compete against the best team in the world, and thankfully, it was proved to be the case. And the players themselves take a whole lot of belief and confidence from that. We're not the finished article as a team. We're very much still developing, but I think throughout the World Cup campaign and with the games that we've taken on, the opponents that we've taken on, we've been out of our comfort zone, and that's the only way you'll improve.
In amongst all the planning, are you able to step back and enjoy it?
I hope so, because it could be an isolated case, going to the World Cup finals as a head coach. You just never know in football. So myself, the rest of the support staff and the players, a big part of our plan and our philosophy is that we want to embrace and enjoy it. And that will be tough. It'll certainly be tough for me as an individual because 24/7 I'm consumed and obsessive with doing the best that I can to help the team perform. Will I enjoy it? Probably not, is the answer to that. If I reflect back on my coaching and managing career to date, I enjoyed many wins as a player. I don't think you ever properly do as a coach and a manager because you're always thinking about what's next.
I suppose it's human nature to get carried away with excitement and things like that and build up. Do you have to keep the players' feet on the ground, or do you want to take that energy and that enthusiasm and kind of harness it and send it towards a better performance?
I think that we can't afford to be too distracted. There's going to be a whole lot of hype, especially around the England game, for obvious reasons. But the focus really needs to be on our game plan, make sure that we can execute that game plan for us to have any opportunity being successful, we can't afford to be distracted. But equally, I'm a great believer that the players, they need to embrace everything that comes our way from the World Cup. You know, because it is a watershed moment for us. The Scottish team, for the very first time, women's national team going to the World Cup final. So I want them to enjoy it, but there needs to be the right balance there.
What do you think our chances of qualifying from the group are?
I think we've got a great chance. I know that other national teams will be saying the same thing. I think we've got a talented group of players. I think that our preparations have been second to none. And I think we've proved that we have a confidence, a belief, but also a desire to succeed. What does success look like for us? There's absolutely no doubt that that is our target, to get out the group. Do I genuinely believe we can get out the group? Yes. We need to win at least one game. Does it need to be the first game? No, I would love it if it was. But we've got the target there. Is it achievable? Absolutely, 100%. And I think the players genuinely believe that as well. So we'll be doing our best to do that, and let's see where it takes us.
When you look back at that wee girl that was fighting to get into a primary school team, and now you're leading your country to the World Cup, how do you reflect on that journey? How are you able to reflect on that journey, or will that be something that you probably do further down the line?
Probably further down the line, if I'm being honest. I think as a person, I think everyone that knows me knows my passion for my country, my passion for football. I'm extremely proud of the team's achievements, and that's ultimately what makes me tick, is helping other people. I've certainly developed since that little 10-year-old, that's for sure. But I remember it like it was yesterday. And for the many females before me that played football, I think this is the moment that everyone should share, that everyone that's been connected with the women's game in Scotland, it's for everyone. It's not for Shelley Kerr, it's certainly for the players, but it's for everyone in the past that's paved the way for us to be going to the World Cup finals.
Shelley Kerr speaking about her hopes for the World Cup and the road that it took to get there. The players are just starting to filter out for the second half here at Hampden Park. Scotland leading by 2-1, having gone behind. Erin Cuthbert inspired them to the comeback with a fantastic strike, and then winning a free kick from which Caroline Weir scored Scotland's second. It looks like Scotland have made a change as Sophie Howard has come on, also Lizzie Arnott. So Shelley Kerr shuffling her pack, hoping to get some of these players a few more minutes before the World Cup. Alongside me for commentary today, Glasgow City manager Scott Booth. Scott, so we expected her to make a few changes, didn't we? It's important, isn't it, to get some minutes in the legs. There's another one, Christy Murray.
Yeah, I think it is. I think the team in the first half proved they had the grit to come back and to basically win the first half, and I think it was a positive thing. So now it's a case of, you know, allowing 2-3 more players to come on and get some good game time.
Khadija Shaw gave Jamaica the lead. Their leading scorer in qualifying, 19 goals. They had to go through 2 rounds before they even reached the CONCACAF qualifying stage.
Yeah, they've also been good, I think, in the first half. Jamaica, they've shown they're a threat and organised. There'll be no pushovers when it comes to the World Cup. They will dig in, Let's see if they can threaten again. Looks like they're making a substitution. McClure coming in for Schneider in goal.
Yeah, that's what they've done the past couple of games, with Schneider starting and Nicole McClure finishing the games. Still a real straight shootout between those two for the #1 spot at the World Cup. In fact, in their third place playoff game, Schneider started it in extra time. Right at the end of extra time, she was substituted off for Nicole McClure, who saved 2 penalties in the shootout. So a really interesting tactical change that. It paid off, and we are underway in the second half. Just to confirm those Scotland changes: Sophie Howard, Christy Murray and Lizzie Arnott are on for Jen Beattie, Jane Ross and Claire Emsley. And the number 12 for Jamaica, Shoshana Campbell, also on at the break for the Reggae Girls. It's given away to Christy Murray. A decent season at Liverpool. There is Weir, now Cuthbert.
I think we expected there to be changes in the second half for Scotland. Quite interesting though, the change to push Erin Cuthbert up top, because, you know, we think that may be the way to go when they're up against really tough opposition, because she, you know, holds the ball in particularly well. It was a great out ball. So it means that Shelley Kerr's been able to, you know, try out Jane Ross in the side with Erin in behind, and now with Erin Cuthbert up top, and what may be a role for her in the World Cup.
It's confirmation of Shoshana Campbell coming on for Dominique Bond-Flazer. Looks like a straight swap at the right back position. Konya Plummer just trying to work that out from the back all by herself. Trudy Carter, away by Doherty. Sophie Howard is playing the more traditional centre-back position. She actually played at right-back during that game against Brazil. Did a very good job indeed.
Yeah, she's a good player. Really handy to have around in the squad. If there's any injury to any of the back line, I'm sure she'd be the first to come in.
Hasn't played an awful lot last season, just 6 appearances in the Women's Super League for Reading. And Konya Plummer has committed a foul. She was nearly caught out there by Erin Cuthbert.
Yeah, the first real mistake that she's made. Scotland looked to be pressing a little bit higher at the beginning of the second half. She's trying to take the ball off her quickly, but what a mistake.
Here is Khadija Shaw, 2-2, no mistake. We all knew the outcome of that when she was put through one-on-one with the keeper. Another lovely finish. And she's made Scotland pay for a big, big error.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for Howard that she makes this mistake. It's a heavy touch, but it's pounced on by Shaw. It really is, and you know, we've said she scores so many different types of goals, and this time it's a 1v1 with Lee Alexander, and she does this so well. She just waits till Lee Alexander gets to her feet. She's just going down enough and then dinks the ball over. So comfortable, so confident in front of goal, this striker. And Scotland have lost the ball on 2 or 3 occasions in those same areas. In the first half they did it, but got away with it. Unfortunately for Howard, she didn't get away with it, and you know, gave the ball to the worst possible person in terms of the Jamaican side.
Well, now Scotland must respond again, like they did in the first half. 2 goals for Khadija Shaw.
I think that's one thing that Shelley Kerr will look at on the video analysis after this game is, you know, if you're going to go into World Cup and you lose possession in that sort of defensive third, maybe even that midfield third at times, in a sloppy fashion when you're maybe high and wide because you've got possession, players are out of position, then it can cost you.
Good work by Lizzie Arnott, too close to keeper McClure.
There's absolutely no doubt that when you're playing against top sides, they'll capitalise on just stray passes and loose play like that.
For one moment, though, did you think she was going to miss that?
No, definitely not. We did talk about it. She can score so many different types of goals because she has that physicality and pace. But she showed a great touch, delicacy in her finish. She knew what she was doing. She was drawing Lee Alexander closer towards her. She didn't panic. Very composed.
She's had to work through great personal trauma as well, Khadija Shaw. Left Jamaica to go to university in Tennessee and has lost 4 brothers, 3 to gang violence and 1 in a car accident. And she considered quitting college, but her family encouraged her to stay on and realise her dream. And I think it's only just beginning. I think those in Jamaica's group will sit up, if they haven't already, and take note.
Well, whenever you've got a striker that has Shaw's attributes, then you're going to be a threat, you know, and as long as you can supply her with the right sort of pass or allow your press to be good enough to win possession and then release her, then when she's as composed as she's shown tonight in those areas, she'll score goals.
Murray does well. Little. Now Evans. Got there first. Crunching challenge.
She's fine.
Looks like she almost enjoyed that.
Well, it would be really hard to take, wouldn't it, if at this stage you're looking forward towards first World Cup for Scotland, if any sort of injury kept you out of it.
Don't think there's been any sign of that being in their minds, though. I think some have accused England in their last warm-up game of that being at the back of their minds, despite winning against Denmark. Bit of a flat performance. Don't think we can accuse Scotland of that, bar a couple of defensive errors. Erin Cuthbert surging past the defence and drawing another foul, and yes, a definite yellow card this time for Sweatman.
Yeah, she knew exactly what she was doing, and it was going to be dangerous for them because it was Erin Cuthbert on the ball. Clever play again from Erin, where she just gets ahead of Sweatman and makes her have to make that decision to bring her down. As positive as ever.
Another chance on the set piece for Scotland. Weir. Away by Shaw. Here's Carter. Matthews was up ahead. Here's Blackwood. That's nicely played by Murray. Now Cuthbert. It's a good idea. Swept up by Alison Swaby.
Yeah, I thought Swaby read that really well.
Here's Howard. Great ball to Arnott. Good defending from the substitute, Campbell. Weir. Little. Cuthbert pulling out wide. Evans. Chance for Scotland.
Oh, it's another good attack. Great play again from Erin Cuthbert. We're picking up that wider position. Never really likes to just stay in one place, and Evans should do better with a header. She's got to try and get down and across this one and get the ball going across McClure, but she's got too much on it. Difficult to pick up Erin Cuthbert when she's playing that sort of striking role, because she kind of plays a false nine at times. She drifts into wide areas, drops back into pockets, and difficult for a defence to deal with, because you're always worried about where is she.
Smith. There's Erin Cuthbert once again. Evans. Weir. And Smith. Well, she's done well. A vital header by Campbell. Kim Little had made the run into the box.
It's good play from Kirsty Smith on the right-hand side. Always willing to get up and attack and send balls in.
Good challenge by Christy Murray. Not such a good one there from Solon. A bit of a wasted free kick from Scotland. And it is a record attendance for a women's game. They've absolutely smashed it. Previous one was just over 4,000, and as you can see, 18,555 fans at Hampden Park to see off the Scotland women national team as they head for their first ever World Cup.
That's really good news. And also effective, because, you know, in the World Cup, the players are going to have to play in front of big crowds, and some of the Scottish players probably haven't played in front of a crowd this size, so it's also a positive.
Smith just stops in her tracks momentarily by Blackwood. Evans. Little. Weir, that's a lovely ball. Erin Cuthbert, really good defending. There's Alison Swaby with the block. Scotland really monopolising the possession now. Solon. Now Matthews, Shaw. Clean tackle by Weir. Here's Lisa Evans. Helps it on to Cuthbert. Arnott onside. Little trying to work the space. The block by Chantel Swaby. It's going to be a corner kick to Scotland.
Yeah, good possession, good passing. Finds Lizzie Arnott in the box, and then Kim Little just trying to find a yard. Good defending though.
And the corner kick taken quickly and defended by Jamaica. Oh, lovely cross. Sophie Howard was there. Well defended. Here's Shaw. Just crowded out. You can see she was trying to turn and find the run of Carter.
Yeah, they look like they're just tiring a little bit now, Jamaica. Certainly less players getting pushed forward, close to shot. She's a bit isolated now. This ball fizzed in by Erin Cuthbert. Great ball to just get on the end of. I think it was Howard that was closest, but again, she shows how dangerous she can be both centrally and in wide positions. In some terms, Scotland lose their shape a little bit when Erin plays in the way that she is, where she's moving around, trying to just pull Jamaican players into different areas. But since Scotland have had the majority of possession in the second half, it is working to an extent, and they have created one or two chances. Jamaica look like they are going to freshen things up, and I think it's probably just about time.
A couple of substitutions getting ready to enter field of play for Jamaica. Doherty. Murray. She's looked lively since coming on at half-time. Another mistake at the back. It was Trudy Carter who went for goal. Chantel Swaby is off for Jamaica, replaced by Chenlu Asher. Plays her football in Norway. For Stuybeck. And here is another player with plenty of potential, and one that I know a lot of people who follow Jamaica closely are very excited about. Chaina Matthews had a very good game, is off for the 17-year-old Jodie Brown. Scored 6 in 6 in qualifying, including a hat-trick against Cuba, and she was named Best Young Player at the CONCACAF tournament. She's not quite as far along in her development as Khadija Shaw, but I know one that Jamaica have very high hopes for. Little, well challenged by Asher. She felt she deserved the foul. It's a good run. Cross on the end of it, on the stretch from Lisa Evans. Didn't trouble McClure.
Lovely little flick here again from Erin Cuthbert, just to open things up. You know, everything seems to go through her that causes a problem for the opposition.
Shaw eventually wins the free kick. And a couple of nibbles at it, didn't they, Scotland?
She's certainly difficult to dispossess. So strong. It's unusual to have a striker like that has that height factor, but also strength and pace. Lots of people in the stand, famous ones.
Judy Murray, I'm sure, will be supporting the Scotland women's national team. This is slightly worrying for Jamaica. Khadija Shaw stayed down and needs treatment.
I think she'll be okay. Just a sore one maybe on the shin. A little bit of that magic spraying. She'll be back up again, I think.
Would there be a case for taking her off and protecting her?
Yes. I would say 100%. If she's gone down like she is now, I think she will just come off. She's far too important to this side. It was Rachel Corsie that got the initial little knock. Christy Murray came in again just after that, but anything like that, you see a player, a top player, well, probably their best player, their most dangerous player, you've just got to take her off and, you know, hope that she recovers quickly. I think it is just a knock. I don't think it's a twist. She's certainly going to worry him a bit.
Well, no doubt about that. Hugh Menzies, Jamaican coach. This would be the last thing he needs. Fingers crossed, she's going to be okay. You want to see the world's best players at the World Cup, and she is heading that direction. Sweatman with the free kick. It's Doherty. Picked up by Asher. Murray. Lovely ball to find Kim Little. Likewise to Lisa Evans. That looked like a handball, and I think the referee is actually going to give a corner kick. It looked like she was going to give the penalty.
Well, the Scotland players certainly reacted very quickly to this. Blackwood getting herself in the way. Lisa Evans does very, very well. Positive. Tries to get to the byline, and yeah, it's Blackwood's left arm that goes up. For me, it's got to be a pen.
Oh, Howard's header! Scotland back in the lead! A terrific header from Sophie Howard, and what a moment for her! A first ever goal for the Scotland women's national team. And they're back in front.
Oh, I'm so pleased for her. She made the mistake for Jamaica's second goal, and then you don't want that on your shoulders going into a World Cup, and now she turns it all positive. She could have got the winner here. Still a long time to go, but she gets up really well. Nobody really around her, totally unmarked, and just directs the header back across the goalkeeper, McClure. I'm delighted for her.
It's a really good header. And Khadija Shaw, I think, has been withdrawn. Kayla McCoy on in her place. Here is Ardit. Scotland want more.
Well, I don't know if McCoy was actually on the park for that goal being scored, and maybe that's why Howard had as much room as she did in the box. So Scotland taking full advantage, and that's a good thing. You need to do that. You need to make sure that when you have those situations, you capitalise.
All smiles on the Scotland bench. after that goal went in. It's Cuthbert. She just will not give anything up. She's won another corner kick for Scotland. That's a really good point you make, because actually Khadija Shaw was a big part in defending corners. It's another quick one. Here's Cuthbert. Weir, really nicely played. Cuthbert on the stretch. It was Arnott who took the strike. Here's Murray. He's just trying to dink that back in for a runner.
Obviously Scotland would want to win this game. They want to have that continued confidence in the side going into the World Cup. But I think for me, one of the biggest things about it is the resilience that they show. You know, they go a goal ahead, go back, go ahead, and they keep doing this at this level. And I think the players are tight. They make sure that they work hard for each other. They don't give up. They make sure that they do all the right things, and they have belief that they will keep creating chances. And I think that's one of the biggest things that they can take out of this game in particular.
Asher's given it away to Arnott, and now Weir to Corsi. Cuthbert, lovely give and go. It's well read. O'Connor Plummer, Alison Swaby, and Carter.
Yeah, a little bit of ice on the ankle. I really hope that she's going to be okay. So I'd love to see her play in the World Cup and see what she can do.
Careful with that. I thought Fred then he sat on it.
She doesn't look overly concerned, does she?
Here is Arnott. It's another good cross, well taken by McClure. She plays her football in Northern Ireland, the Jamaican goalkeeper. Well travelled. She's played in Norway, Croatia, Israel, to name a few. There's a promising move for Jamaica. Flag is up though.
Alexander doing well, getting off her line very quickly. It's a good line held by the Scottish back line, and just gets away with it. There's a yard or two offside, but as I say, well swept up by Lee Alexander.
Here is Howard's goal that has put Scotland back into the lead. Really good header, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of cushioned. It's not really been headed with any sort of venom. It's just been cushioned back across the goalkeeper.
Little, Cuthbert, Smith, promising from Scotland. Evans forced away though. Here is Christy Murray. Smith. Again, Blackwood clears up. And as far as Corsi. Weir. Here's Little, back to Weir. And now Arnott. Oh, that would have been some goal.
Yeah, it was really good football. 1 and 2 touch, and it released Lizzie Arnott, but she couldn't find the connection with that right foot.
Here is Jodie Brown. Oh, it's easily dispossessed, the youngster. A careless pass from Rachel Corsi to Carter. Solon. Swaby plays in Serie A with Roma. Solon. Asher. Sweatman. It's a mistake by Smith. Here is Carter. Goal kick.
Yeah, she makes the initial mistake. She'll be frustrated, but the one thing she has got is good pace, and she can recover and did that really well. Good little give and go football from Scotland. 1 and 2 touch, and that's the chance for Lizzie Arnott, the back post.
2 goals so far for Scotland. Lizzie Arnott, both in the Algarve Cup recently. Scotland did very well, winning 2 of their 3 games in that tournament to come 5th. Couple of further substitutions for Scotland coming up. There's Blackwood. Tracking back from Weir. Christy Murray. Arnott. Up against Shoshana Campbell.
I think that might be the one worry for Jamaica going into the World Cup, is not having a striker to replace Khadija Shaw. Don't seem to have a plan B if that happens. Whereas I think Scotland are now in a better position in those terms than they were at European Championships to make changes and still be able to change things to be dangerous and as strong a side. Of course, that's the difference between the better nations in the world, is the strength and depth.
It's been a big job for Hugh Menzies to dig a little deeper and find those that qualify for Jamaica. It's not been an easy job for him, and he's taken it upon himself to find his players clubs and colleges to go to as well.
Well, looking at this, he's done a fantastic job. He really has, because they've impressed me.
Here is Little. Erin Cuthbert. It's a good block. Still not cleared. Evans. Didn't notice that Cuthbert had made the run in behind it.
Great ball out there from Christy Murray, but Christy Smith just couldn't control it. Here come the changes.
Lana Cleland and Hayley Lauder coming on for Scotland. Erin Cuthbert, you just hear the reception she's getting.
And well deserved.
And Nicola Doherty, the other player to be removed. There's Lana Cleland, who spent the last few seasons in Syria, the latest one with Fiorentina.
I think in the second half you are seeing these changes that can be made by Shelley Kerr for the World Cup. Hayley Lauder going back in at left back. She's played there a number of times for Scotland. Obviously, options up front as well from Lana. So I think there's definitely a lot more to play with in terms of making these changes. And it's been good, I think, tonight to get the players on the park and get them a little bit of game time before heading off to France.
Here's the sub for Jamaica. Trudy Carter has come off. 10 minutes to go. And the player on is Tiffany Cameron, who's actually been capped at senior level by Canada in 6 friendlies. But because they were friendly, she was allowed to change allegiance to Jamaica. Just incidentally, Hayley Lauder, this is cap number 99 for her. So I wonder if she's going to get that century against England. We'll have to wait and see, but you'll be able to see it on the BBC a week on Sunday in Nice. We can't wait. Great turn by Arnott.
Yeah, the referee just became a Jamaican player for a second there.
That's a decent looking ball. Onto the far side and Cameron. Now here's McCoy. Difficult angle. The first effort on goal for a long time from a Jamaican perspective.
Yeah, Lee Alexander doing well, just covering her front post. It's a good little attack. Very difficult angle to give Alexander a problem from. She looks like she's picked up a little knock.
It's another forward for Jamaica with a knock, Kayla McCoy, who plays for the Houston Dash in the National Women's Soccer League. Only one appearance so far. And the league does carry on throughout the World Cup in America, so a lot of them are bereft of some of their key players. And there is Khadija Shaw being treated like the calibre of player that she is. And Kayla McCoy came on for Khadija Shaw, so not good news.
No, definitely not. I mean, I don't think they have that many options anyway. As a striker, traditional number 9 through the middle, Khadija Shaw is obviously the standout, but with the two that have played there, both taking knocks in the final game before you go to a World Cup for the first time, it's not ideal.
It's a penny for that man's thoughts, Hugh Menzies. I'm sure he'll wrap them in cotton wool. Let's just hope it's not too late. There's Lauder. Murray. Arnott. She's done well down the wing. Her end product quite there on this occasion. Kayla McCoy looks in a little bit of distress. There is Solon. Blackwood. It's a bit of a lucky ricochet, but she'll take it. Cleland.
Certainly a lot of positives to be taken out of this game tonight. And some good football played. They've tried various ways of opening up Jamaica. Just at that sort of end quarter of the first half, really got to grips with things, particularly through Erin Cuthbert. And then in the second half, changed things up a little bit, made the changes and still looked dangerous. I think the only negative would be the loss of possession and areas, defensive areas that could hurt you against really top-class opposition. And I think that's one area that will be worked on, will be talked about, and they'll hopefully put that right before arriving in the first game in the World Cup.
Corsi. Cleland has got a bit of a tap on the ankles from Alison Swaby. She missed the last 5 internationals, Cleland, with injury. Murray, lovely pass. So nearly slipping it through to Evans.
Yeah, she's looked really bright in the second half, Christy Murray. Playing really well. Looks hungry for game time. It's a nice position for a coach to be in when players come on and give you that reaction that they really want the shirt, want to start games.
There's Weir. Little. Cleland was offside. But another really positive build-up move from Scotland.
I think you can see where Scotland are a real threat. It's in this area of the park. Maybe a 30 by 30 square just outside the opposition penalty box, where they've got players like Little and Cuthbert. Even Lisa Evans drops in there at times. Caroline Weir. They have players that can be really effective in those tight areas. Christy Murray, as we've talked about, coming on.
Here is Arnott. Just over the head of Cleland.
Of course, as well as having those players in those sort of tight areas and pockets of the pitch, they've also got good width and pace in wide areas. It's a good combination to have in terms of creating a difficulty for the opposition that you're playing against.
But how do you approach that first game against England?
I think you have to be pretty conservative and give them the respect that they deserve, but I think you've also got to have a threat yourself and be able to keep possession for long periods. You can't just be continually chasing the game out of possession. And I do feel that Scotland are in a position now where they can, for long spells in that game, keep possession. And I also feel that they've got players that can worry England. Yeah, it's going to be a tough match for Shelley Kerr, but I think they're certainly in a much better position this time round than Scotland were in the European Championships.
It's almost unfortunate, isn't it, that they were drawn in the same group, and again the opening game for Scotland is against England, but because that really set them back, didn't it, that opening game, such a heavy defeat.
Yeah, it does so much to the confidence. It really knocks the confidence out of players when you lose so heavily in the first game in a major tournament. But I still feel that the players showed resilience and came back from that and turned what was a negative into a positive final match. And I think if you consider the fact that they're certainly squad-wise in a much better position this time round, I think they'll feel far more confident going into that game against England than could have been the case. that said, England have got some great players and so many options going forward. And you know that if it clicks on the night for them, then they're going to be dangerous.
Here is Little. Another intelligent run from the midfielder. Lauder. Arnott. It's an intelligent ball towards Cleland. Into stoppage time at Hampden Park. I think he'll be fairly pleased as well, the Jamaica coach Hugh Menzies.
Yeah, I do. I think they've done really well, and certainly in that sort of period where they were scoring goals and looked dangerous on the counter-attack. I think that'll give them encouragement, because they'll have to play that way in the World Cup, where they do play on the break.
Well, this team couldn't really have asked for a better send-off at Hampden Park. A record crowd to watch a women's team in Scotland. And they've put on a show as well. Very entertaining game. Let's hope they continue to do that in France.
Yeah, it was almost a case of trying to return the favour to the fans for turning out, to make sure they won this game and have a positive send-off, and that's definitely been the case. Showed, again, resilience and scored some good goals against opposition that I think have been a real test. So I think all in all, a really good night for Scotland, and we wish them all the very best when they get to the World Cup.
As Cleland isolated up against Blackwood. I think despite conceding the 3 goals, actually, from a Jamaica point of view, in open play at least, their defence has looked pretty solid.
Yeah, I think they have been solid. Schwabe and Plummer in there have shown that they can defend, that they are organised, communicate well, and then in midfield they've got, again, solidity just in front with 2 players who tend to sit, and then after that it's a case of the 4 players that are ahead of them can go and break and try and open up the opposition, and when Khadija Shaw's in the team, then she's obviously the target. Get the ball to her and you'll be dangerous.
There is the final whistle, a fitting send-off for Shelley Kerr and for Hugh Menzies, 2 debutants who will, fingers crossed, light up the World Cup when they travel to France in just a few days' time to kick off their campaigns. Really entertaining 90 minutes at Hampden Park. And Scotland, having been pegged back twice in this game, they went 1-0 down, and when they were leading 2-1, they went to 2-2. Both goals for Jamaica from Khadija Shaw, Erin Cuthbert, really the catalyst for the Scotland comeback. It's been a good night's work. I'm sure all those high up in the Scottish game will wish them well as they make their final preparations for the big day. England against France a week on Sunday. Don't forget, you can watch every single game across the BBC. It all kicks off a week on Friday. France against South Korea. Should be a fantastic World Cup. So many teams, so many players. Let's hear from Erin Cuthbert.
18,500 people at Hampden.
I'm speechless. I think you've seen by my reaction. I put my hands over my mouth. I couldn't quite believe it myself, but it's absolutely incredible. You can hear the reception that we've got. It's just been an incredible World Cup campaign, and to top it off with a send-off game at Hampden Park with a record crowd, and absolutely smashed the record, and you know we could hear every one of them out there.
Jamaica made you work hard for it. It was a bit of a shaky start to the game, but those 2 quick goals in the first half really turned things around.
Yeah, I think we needed that goal. You know, we did have a shaky start. Maybe it was a little bit of nerves. Some people haven't played in front of a crowd this size before, so definitely nerves. But I think once we got into our game and we started playing our passing game, you know, we've got so much talent in this team that once we get going, we've got talent in abundance, and we're going to score goals and we're going to create chances.
Was tonight a game you were looking forward to, or was it a case of not quite wanting it out of the way in the World Cup to come, but something you could enjoy?
I think you've got to focus on the process, and you know we had Jamaica, and the process is what gets you to the World Cup, and we wanted a good performance against Jamaica in front of the fans to send us off, because you know we want them on our side when we get to France, and in the first game we want them as loud as possible.
Off to France now. Good luck. You are tonight's player of the game, Erin. A wee trophy before you go.
Beautiful, thank you. Cheers.
Thank you to the game, Erin Cuthbert.